Hello friends, and welcome to The Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you might be surprised by a couple of things. One, I'm not in any of my regular places for filming. I'm here teaching a summer camp in Korea. So, this is the background that we've got for today. And this may be the background that we're going to have for the next 3 weeks, just to let you know. Now, the second thing you might be surprised about is you haven't seen my intro yet. And that's because I'm not doing a weekly reading right now. I'm going to be walking us through a new spread. This is a spread that was originally designed by the Golden Dawn. And you know the Golden Dawn, the people who gave us both Mr. Waite and also Pixie, right? Pamela Coleman Smith was a member of the Golden Dawn, and Aleister Crowley. So we've got both the Smith-Waite deck and the Thoth deck from the Golden Dawn. You probably already know that, just in case you're new. And I'm in the process of transitioning into my Thoth deep dive year. So I decided I'm going to be using Kelly Burton's 3 decks. The Journey of the Sacred Bee, which is Thoth adjacent. The Keeper of the Sacred Bee, which really looks very, very much like a Smith-Waite inspired deck. And then her Oracle deck, which is the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee. And to do that, I'm using a 15 card spread, which again, I said was originally created by the Golden Dawn, but I've changed it a little bit. Yeah. I also like the version that Colette Baron Reid was using on her channel about a year ago. And so I blended the two. The form is exactly the same. Yeah, you'll see the form in just a moment. The form is exactly the same. The difference is the way that we're describing each set of 3 cards. So you're going to see the spread in just a moment. And when you look at the spread, you will see that the group of 15 is broken up into 5 sets of 3 cards. Okay, so what am we going to do? I'm going to show you the spread in a beautiful colored version with a PPT, a PowerPoint slide, and then I'm going to turn the camera down and we are going to walk through the spread and I'm going to do a sample reading. Okay, are you all ready? So friends, here we go. Hello friends, we are back, and this is the black and white version of the spread that I just showed you in beautiful color. And it might be a little difficult to see here because I'm working with what I've got teaching here at camp. But you see that there are 5 groupings of 3 cards. The first grouping is here in the center. This is where we'll begin, and you notice that the center card is number 1. And this is the present situation. This gives us what's going on right now. And then we move up to here. Yeah, what happens if we continue as we are? So the progression from here to here is if we do nothing special, if we just follow the flow of what we've been doing and the choices we have been making and following the way things have been going, this is the predicted next step or the predicted trajectory. Then here we will read what could happen if we change course. So this is if we do some deliberate intervention of some kind. This is an alternate path. And then here this is the 4th part, obstacles or challenges. Now, I could have just said challenges, but I wanted to delineate the possibility of something that is going to be blocking us or something we might want to strive for. That sense of challenge. That challenge could actually mean both. Challenge, something that is preventing us from doing what we want to do easily, or something that we are planning on striving towards, right? There are two meanings of challenge. And then in the last group of cards, we have assistance from spirit or divine. This is the help that we could be getting from non-physical. So these are the the five sections of cards that we're going to be reading. So this spread is not really, and I think I already said this, a completely positional spread, where this card means this is the answer to one question, and this card is the answer to another question. Yeah, these groupings of cards are indicating general areas of meaning. So what are we going to do? We're going to go through and do a practice reading of this spread. But before I do, let me show you the order that these cards are going to be laid out in, because it's a little bit different. Now we're going to start here with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the central answers to each of the meanings or the sections of the spread. Yeah, the central card is the primary response. And then we'll go here with 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you think grammatically, these are like the adjectives. They modify the answer to the central card. And then we'll go to, let's see, where were we? 10. So yes, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And these cards will give us additional information. Yeah, they will add color and shading to the first two cards. So we begin with the primary response. The secondary card gives a little bit more nuance to the first card, and the third gives us a little bit more color. Does that make sense? So that's the order that we're going to be laying the spread out in, and that's the order that we're going to be reading each of these sections. We'll start, for example, in the center with 1, then 6, and then 11. Now, when I go into my weekly readings, I'm going to be using 3 different decks. I'll be using the Journey of the Sacred Bee for the central cards. I'm going to be using the Keeper of the Sacred Bee for the cards on the left. And then I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle for the cards on the right, just so that you know where we're moving as a channel. But for today's reading, I decided to pull out a very different deck. I've pulled out my Tarot del Fuego, which is a deck that I had been thinking about using for a while, but Christine Payne Towler, the beautiful, wonderful, and brilliant Christine Payne Towler, says that she uses this deck, and so I thought, yeah, I'll break down and finally give it a chance, and it took me a while to get used to it, but I'm a little used to it, not expert used to it, but I'm more comfortable with it now. So that's what I decided to bring with me to camp, and this is what we're going to be using for this spread. So if you want to skip ahead, we're going to shuffle now. And the question I'm going to be asking of the spread today is, how are things going for us generally as a collective right now? So we'll get, again, the present situation. If we don't do anything where we're going, if we make a different selection where we could go, and a challenge to our progress, and divine inspiration, divine help. So here we go with the shuffle. If you want to skip ahead, feel free. What would we benefit from giving our attention to? What would we benefit from giving our attention to? How are things standing for us as a collective? And we'll start with the present situation. Oops, sorry. I'm not going to shuffle reversals in this time. What happens if we continue as we are? What could happen if we change course? What are the obstacles or challenges? And what assistance can we expect from the divine? Yeah? What is the present situation for us as a collective? What happens if we continue as we are? What could happen if we change course? What obstacles or challenges are likely to present themselves? And what assistance can we expect from the divine? Oh, okay. I don't read jumpers, you know that. Or you probably know that. Or maybe you know that. Where was I? Yes. What is our present situation? What happens if we continue as we are? What could happen if we change course? What obstacles or challenges can we expect or anticipate? And what is our assistance? What assistance does Spirit or the Divine have for us? What is the assistance or the help that we are receiving from the Divine? Cut the cards, and we will move forward. So, now spacing is going to be challenging here because like I said, I'm working on the floor in my room at camp, so I don't have I don't have guides for spacing. So let's just wing it, okay? Present situation, card number 1, King of Swords, okay, that's a good start. Number 2, what happens if we continue as we are? 5 of Wands. What could happen if we intervene? The Lover's, choices, okay. What obstacles or challenges are possible? The King of Wands. Okay, I'm going to need to push these guys up a little bit. King of Wands. And what assistance from the Divine? The 5 of Cups. Okay, make sure that this is on camera. Okay, so here we go for the modifiers. Present situation. 8 of Coins. 8 of Pentacles. What happens if we continue as we are? 2 of Swords. So, choices and competition. What could happen if we change course? The Page of Wands. Knave of Wands. Okay, and what obstacles? 3 of Swords. Oh, okay. That gives us a little bit of a challenge with that King of Swords there. And what assistance from the Divine? The Emperor. Okay. And then, last modification. Present situation. Knave of... Oh, another knave. That's good. Okay, so we can get these off. Like I said, we're winging it, right? What happens if we continue as we are? The Knight of Wands. Oh, okay, so look at that glare. I'm very sorry for the glare. We might just have to live with that. Just a second. What could happen if we change course? 9 of Wands. So let's see. Okay. So bring these guys up. There we go. Obstacles or challenges? The Chariot. Okay, we could do this. There's a way around this. Bring these guys in here. There we go. That's easier to see, right? That knave is a little hard to see still, but better. And then assistance from Spirit. Oh, the 7 of Swords. Okay, so let me straighten. Ouch, I'm sorry. Sitting on the floor. Here we go. Get that looking a little bit better for you. Let me try bringing these down a little bit. Okay. Okay, sorry, like I said, I'm working with what we have here at camp, what I have for here at camp, and this is a large spread, and yeah, my tools are not really adequate for this kind of a spread here, but it's good enough. Yes? So I'll just put the used deck here off to the side. There we go. Just for balance. And okay, so let's start a reading. So what is our present situation? Again, we're starting with the King of Swords. So we have the idea of clear vision. We see a rainbow behind the king, right? So this isn't a sad card, even though the king's eyes have seemed to be blindfolded, and that sword is piercing his chest. We have a rainbow here, and this is a very kingly person, sitting on a red cushion. We've got a lot of pain. We've got a lot of we've got self-inflicted wounds, but we do have a rainbow. We have clarity here. The clouds have parted. So we are entering perhaps our mastery of our mind, which has in the past perhaps been doing us no good. But now we're starting to get control of it. Yeah, and the clouds are parting, the rainbow is there, and perhaps all we need to do is extract that knife, which, who knows, we might have inserted in ourselves in the first place, and gain our mastery of our minds and our thoughts and the thoughts that we think. And what are we thinking about? We're thinking about our daily tasks. Yeah? We want to, in the present situation right now, it's us finding clarity, doing the extraction of the wounds, and keeping focused on our daily tasks. And it's an uphill, it probably feels like an uphill climb doing that. You notice that there are tears inside of each of the coins. So it's not necessarily a happy journey of doing the daily work. There might be a little bit of a sense of not burden so much, but not happy, joyous, and free, right? But still, those could be tears of relief as well. But mastering what we are focusing on at the moment. And you'll notice that we have the Knave of Pentacles right off on the side. And I'm sorry, knaves are not the pages, the knaves are the knights. So, the Knave of Pentacles, that is, let me just double check. Yeah, the knaves are, let's see, do we have knights and knaves, or do we have pages and knaves? Let me just double check, because knave, king, knave, king, 7, 2, knight. Okay, so yes, okay, so the knaves are pages. So this is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles, the Knave of Pentacles. Exploration of what is. Learning from what is. Taking advantage of the resources that exist now, but not in the sense of a king, but in the sense of figuring it out, learning, exploring. So that's where we are now. Yeah? Getting a hold of and finding mastery of mind and communication and our vision, which could, again, include overcoming wounds. And being able to, in that process, focus on our daily tasks, which might not be feel happy, joyous, and free. It might feel a little bit like we're doing what we have to do. You know what I mean? But we can learn. We can take this opportunity to learn from what we are engaged in. Learn from what is around us. And so if we continue on our present course, we're going to end up perhaps in something that might not be the best. Yeah, you can see in this Five of Wands, we've got a squirrel here in a very safe spot. Yeah, you notice the echo of the crown here from the king to the crown on top of the squirrel. The squirrel is safe, but there's a storm brewing around the squirrel. There's conflict around in the environment. So if we don't take any other courses, if we follow the course of where we are going now, that's what I'm trying to say. If we follow the course, we could end up in a very conflicted environment, one of high energy. Now, one where we would be called to make choices which may not either be difficult or maybe painful choices. And those choices carry a lot of energy with them. Now we have the Eight of Wands here, which you got fire bursting out of this castle that is bound with the 8 wands and lightning coming down. So if we follow the course of where we're naturally headed without doing anything, we could come into a fairly conflicted, tense, intense situation. That makes sense, yes? It's not necessarily dangerous, but one that will cause, like I said, a lot of energy around us and could require us to make difficult, if not painful, decisions to be able to maintain our shelter in the center of this downpouring of energy and disruption. Now, but we can make another choice. We can choose to do something else. We can choose the Lover's card, yeah, which here actually looks a little bit like a Tarot de Marseille card where he is making a choice. So instead of waiting for the conflict to come, maybe we can make a different choice. We could choose to move in the direction of something else, which is what? Which is an exploration of our passions, an exploration, a discovery of where we can go, our creativity. Now we see this Knave of Wands, which is a Page of Wands, right? Going into this very dark, unknown cave with all of these eyes staring at her. And she's got a crown. You notice the central card's not here, but she's got a crown above her head. Just like the king, just like the squirrel, this knave has a crown above her head. So we could choose to go into the unknown with our newly discovered branch of passion and creativity. Or we could choose, okay, so that's the way I think we're going to read this. Or we could choose to stand where we are, you know? The Nine of Wands, where we could choose to be battered by the environment and still stand strong, which kind of feels like we'd be moving right back over to here. So it seems like the other choice could be to make the choice to move into the unknown with our, again, newly discovered or newly revitalized torch of passion. And it might require us to traverse. Now, another way of looking at this card is it might require us to traverse this. Okay. Too many thoughts going through my head at the same time. Look at this figure. Reminding us of this figure here, we have a figure with 2 heads. A figure trying to make a decision to go up to where there is water or to go back down where there is fire. So, go into the unknown would probably also require us to make the decision to move in the direction of our relief in the midst of the unknown. So if the alternate path to this one is making choices, and they're not comfortable choices, they're choices of discomfort, they're choices of moving into things that we're not used to, right? And so what is the challenge? I think the challenge, this is not a challenge of obstacle, but rather a challenge of something to aim towards, to move towards. Yeah, because the challenge of the Knave of Wands is to become the King of Wands, right? To be the master of that new creativity, standing in the radiance of a double sun. Yeah? Standing on the legs of creativity and passion, using their arm of creativity, both arms and both legs, they're the wands, right? Every part of this king's body of movement, of action, of making is a wand. So he moves with his passion and his creativity. He works with his passion and his creativity. And remember, we are all kings. We're all he's, we're all she's, we're all they's. No matter what our body is, whether we're in a male body, a female body, a trans body, a cisgendered body, an intersex body, whatever, we're kings, queens, knaves, and knights. So this king is all of us, standing on our passion and creativity and using our passion and creativity as our tools for working in the world. With wings for ascension even. That's a very positive challenge. And to do that, we're going to have to learn from our past mistakes, our past pain, our past heartbreak. Just like this king here, right now, has to pull that sword out, take the blindfold off to see that the clouds have parted, to see the rainbow in the sky. This sword is the echo of this King of Swords. To do this, we're going to need to do the work of healing, to understand what we have learned, how we can grow from the heartbreak and the challenges, the disappointments, the betrayals, whatever we've experienced, that we may be still carrying as wounds. We want to learn from that now to be able to fully embody our inner King of Wands and have our willpower available to us, have our ability to move in the direction that we want available to us. So the challenge is to become the king by learning from our heartbreak and the swords in our hearts, to be able to get onto the chariot of success and willpower and start moving forward. Does that make sense? Yes? So what help do we expect from the divine? Well, 5 of Cups. What does that mean? As assistance from spirit, assistance from the divine, whatever we want to call that, be it God, Allah, Brahman, divine, the feminine divine, the source, universal spirit, whatever we want to call that. What is that 5 of Cups being? Why is this 5 of Cups being offered? Well, remember, this isn't the 8 of Cups where we're walking away from stuff. This is the 5 of Cups where we, again, emotionally look at and appreciate, in a sense, the disappointments we have experienced in our lives. And each one of these cups holds something different a little bit. Now we've got a squid in one, we've got an eel in another, we've got coral in yet another, we've got an anglerfish in another, and then we've got just fire in one. Yeah, we've experienced disappointments, but we're not dead in the water. We're full of life. So the divine is offering us an opportunity to appreciate. We've had the heartbreaks, we've had the betrayals, we're asked to learn from them with the sword suit, with the mind. But here we're asked to appreciate where we have come emotionally. And we do that by embodying our inner emperor. Yeah, the ultimate of the King of Wands supersized. Now, the King of Wands is a fire of fire, and the Emperor is generally considered a fire card as well, right? Now we got an Aries ram head right here. So we go beyond the King of Wands. Our ability to be the constructor of our experience in the universe is being offered by the divine here. Rather than being the receptive creator, we're being offered by spirit, by the divine, the opportunity to become the active creator of our individual universes. By doing the Seven of Swords. Now there's a little bit of there's a mental activity here. And instead of the guy walking out of perhaps an enemy camp's tent, or maybe his own camp's tent, looking like he's stealing a bunch of swords from them, we got a lion, a blindfolded lion, similar to this blindfolded king, yeah? Demanding that he go his own way. I think that's what this card is here to remind us of, that we are able to make the choice to go our own way. So here we have the echo again of the King of Swords, which is where we are right now. So we learn from our emotional distress. We grow from that. We embody our active creative potential, and we go our own way. That's the assistance that's being offered by the divine. This is kind of a, you got this. Now, you don't have to follow anybody else. Yeah, you've come through some stuff, but you can grow and learn and become who you want to become and create your experience in the world. We can put on our big boy and big girl and big non-binary person pants, right? I think that's what this general spread is here to tell us. We're starting at it's not the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles and the satisfaction and joy and the Empress card of yay, we're creating. But we are finding clarity. We have opportunity to work and to learn. And instead of moving into conflict, we can make other choices. But they're choices that are not the choices that we have made in the past. We've got to make new choices. And even after we make a new choice, we might discover that, we still might have to make another choice. We may still find ourselves of two minds and decide whether we're going to re-enter the fire or go back and find some refreshment. But we're called to face the challenge of embodying our King of Wands by learning and entering our what is that word? To our willpower. We want to not reignite, we want to reestablish our willpower. That's the closest I can get. And offer the emotional learning that is being provided from the divine, which will allow us to become the creators of our reality and go our own way, even though this might be against what common, normal, everyday society thinks that we should be doing. So this is a pretty good reading, if you ask me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Does this make sense? Is this an interesting spread? Do you see how it works? If you don't see how it works yet, let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you. What do you think? I'm going to be starting to read with this in more detail, beginning in a few days with the Sacred Bee package by Kelly Burton. Now, the Journey of the Sacred Bee, the Keeper of the Sacred Bee, both tarot, and then the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle. So get ready for that journey with me as well. Friends, thank you very much. If you're still here, hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that you got something out of this and other people might enjoy watching it. It brings more eyes to the channel. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the alarm bell so you get notifications of when I upload videos. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this week's large spread and Terre de Marseille reading spread. I had been uploading them on Fridays and Saturdays. They might be a day or two delayed because of camp. I might not get to them until like Saturday or Sunday. So hit the alarm bell so you get notifications. And if you want a private reading from me, my email address is below. thehangedmaninthemoon@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and we'll get you a reading. So friends, thank you very much for joining me on this exploration of this spread that I, again, was based on both the Golden Dawns version and with a little bit of a rethinking by Colette Baron-Reid. So it's a merging of all of those. And I think I said that in the introduction. So friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.